welcome back to Awesome Possum Hobbies and Games. I am Chris, and I'm back with my this week's TCG player order. Let's see how I got. This week is all about Bloomburrow. So Bloomburrow, this is both the Commander as well as the regular standard set. So there's going to be a combination of both sets. Let's go ahead and take a look. First card is Caretaker's Talent, which is a one white and 2 generic enchantment class. First level is whenever one or more tokens you control enter, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. Level 2 costs 1 white mana. When this class becomes level 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. And of course, that first ability will go off again. And then level 3, for 1 green, or 1 white, I've got green on my mind today. 1 white and 3 generic for level 3. Creature tokens you control get +2/+2. Nice little token card. I'm working on a token deck. We'll see how that goes after a while. Next card is Tempt with Bunnies for 1 white, 2 generic. It's a sorcery. Tempting Offer. Draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. Then each opponent may draw a card and create a 1/1 rabbit creature token. For each opponent who does, you draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. So it can get out ahead real fast, especially if you got a pot of 4 and each person decides to draw an extra card. Well, you're drawing 4 cards then, and you're creating 4 tokens, and each of one of them is just getting 1 card and 1 token. So for 3 mana, not too bad. Next card is Perch Protection. 2 white, 4 generic for an instant. Gift an extra turn. Ooh, that's an expensive gift. Create 4 2/2 blued bird creature tokens with flying. If the gift was promised, all permanents you control phase out, and until end of your next turn, your life total cannot change, and you gain protection from everything. Then you have to exile this card. Well, you know, for 6 mana, for only 4 creature tokens with flying, that's not great. But if you gave that gift of an extra turn, you get to phase out, and all your stuff phases out, and you gain protection from everything. Yeah, it's a fairy protection that costs a little bit more, but there's a little extra benefit. Yes, please, sign me up. I want to try that out, especially in a token deck. Next card is Murmuration for 1 white, 4 generic for an enchantment. Birds you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, for each spell you've cast this turn, create a 1/2 blued bird creature token with the name Stormcrow. Yeah, I just got this card because this is Stormcrow. Love. I'm an old guy. I like old things and gotta try out things and produce Stormcrows. Next one is Storm Chaser's Talent for 1 blue. It is an enchantment class, and level 1 is when Storm Chaser's Talent enters, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. Level 2 is 1 blue and 3 generic. When this becomes level 2, return target instant or sorcerer card from your graveyard to your hand. Level 3, 1 blue and 5 generic. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. For only 1 blue mana, you know, you're getting a 1/1 token. Then later on, when you get some extra mana, you're able to do a few extra things. This is not a bad card, especially if you're playing with a lot of spells in your deck, or if you have a deck built around prowess. I'm interested in building a standard deck that's basically around prowess, blue-red deck. We'll see how that goes. Onto the next card, Alchemist Talent. Another talent card. For a red, 3 generic, it is an enchantment class, and level 1, when it enters, you create a 2 tapped treasure tokens. Level 2 for 1 red, 1 generic. Treasures you control have tap sacrifice this artifact. Add 2 mana of any one color. Level 3 for 1 red, 4 generic. Whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, this class deals damage equal to the spell's mana value to each opponent. Yeah, I'm going to be able to put this right into a treasure. You know, treasures things matter. I think it'll be an interesting addition to that deck. Next one is Scurry of Squirrels. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards from the Commander set. For 1 green, 2 generic, for a 2/2 creature squirrel scout. Has Mirrored. So whenever a Scurry of Squirrels deals combat damage to a player, put +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So of course, if you're attacking with this guy, if you're able to give it unblockable or attack someone that is not having someone to be able to defend it, you're going to go ahead and attack with 2 other tokens to each of your opponents. So you're attacking with 5 copies. And if any of those copies deal damage, you're putting +1/+1 counters back on the original to make it even more powerful. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card for only 3 mana. This is going to be a lot of fun to play in token decks, and it's going to be annoying as hell. I can't wait to play. Next card is Evercoat Ursine. For 1 green, 4 generic for a 6/5 creature elemental bear. It has trample and then Hideaway 3, Hideaway 3. So Hideaway 3 is interesting. So you go through and you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you put a card underneath it. And when you hit that hideaway factor, you get to play those cards for free. So in order to get that hideaway part, is whenever this card deals combat damage to a player, if there are cards exiled with it, you may play one of them without paying its mana cost. If you can give it haste, this card can be pretty incredible. I can't wait to put that in a couple of my decks. Next one is Rootcast Apprenticeship. For 1 green, 3 generic for a sorcery. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Mode 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Mode 3, target player creates a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. And mode 4, target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact. For a 4 mana, it does quite a bit, and you get a bunch of choices. And I love cards that give you choices and lots of options. And this one does all of that. Will it be very good in Commander? It's a wait and see card. Well, I don't know if I'll play with it right away, but it's a good wait and see card. Next one is Bright Cap Badger for 1 green, 3 generic. It's a 3/4 creature badger druid. And of course it has a stack ability of each fungus and sapling you control has tap to add a green mana. At the beginning of your up end step, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Yes, it does a lot. And before that, you can have the adventure of instant Fungus Frolic for 1 green, 2 generic. Create 2 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. It does quite a few things. It creates some tokens. It's a good sized body for only 4 mana, and then on top of that, it makes it so if you've done that adventure beforehand, you've got some mana dorks, and then at the end of your turn, you get some more mana dorks. Yes, please. I can't wait to put this in a creature token deck. Next card is Thornvault Forager for 1 green, 1 generic for a 2/2 creature squirrel ranger. It's a mana dork, so it taps to reduce green mana, and then also you can tap to forage. To forage, all you have to do is exile 3 cards from your graveyard or sacrifice a food to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Or you can pay a green 3 generic to tap and search your library for a squirrel card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Card does quite a few things. Mostly I'm going to be playing it because it searches for squirrel cards in a squirrel deck and it taps to reduce mana. Nice. Next card is Keen-Eyed Curator. For only 2 green mana, you get a 3/3. It's a creature raccoon scout. As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards exiled with Keen-Eyed Curator, it gets +4/+4 and has trample. And then you can pay 1, exile target card from a graveyard. So you can target stuff from your graveyard or any of your opponent's stuff to be able to get that combination of cards to be able to get that +4/+4. If you don't, at least you're exiling cards from your opponent's graveyard, which if you're doing that, you're doing something right. It's a good sized body. I think this has some potential to be playing in a 2-color deck out of standard with multiple copies. We'll see. I think it's a good one. I bought a couple copies, and we've already seen Thornbolt Forager. Next card is Fecund Grishel. For 2 green, 3 generic for a 4/6 creature elemental turtle. Has reach, so it can block creatures with flying. And as long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. And whenever this card or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you can put it into the battlefield tap. Otherwise, you can put it in your hand. Green, having extra ways of putting lands into play. Yes, please. Having options to be able to draw some extra cards. Even better. I can't wait to go through and put this in a few different commander decks. Next one is Octomancer. Octomancer for a blue, a green, 3 generic for a 3/3 creature frog druid. Gift an octopus. You may promise an opponent as a gift as you cast a spell. If you do, when it enters, they create an 8/8 blue octopus creature token. So, what? I want to give someone an 8/8 token? Yeah, it's alright. The payoff is even better. At the beginning of each end step, create a token that's a copy of target creature token that entered the battlefield this turn. And it's at the end of each end step, so it rewards you at the end of your turn, at the end of your opponent's turn. As long as a creature token came into play, guess what? You get a copy of it as well. So that 8/8 token you just gave someone that might be able to help you out during the game, it's going to get even better because now you're able to go through and get yourself an 8/8 token, and then of all the rest of the turns, you're going to be able to create some extra tokens as well. I love this card. For 5 mana, it's cool. The next card is the Odd Acorn Gang for a green, a black, 3 generic for 5/5 legendary creature Squirrel Warrior. Menace, Trample, Reach. Squirrels you control have tap. Target squirrel gets +2/+2 and gains trample till end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever one or more squirrels you control deal combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So this does quite a few things. If you only had some way of giving your cards vigilance, it can get pretty nasty pretty quick. I can't wait to put this in a squirrel deck. Let's go. Next card is Fisher's Talent. For a blue, a green, and 2 generic. It is enchantment class, so level 1 at the beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top card of your library. You may reveal it if it is a land card. Create a 1/1 blue fish creature token if you revealed it this way. Then you get to draw a card. Level 2 for a blue and a green, it becomes level 2, and if you would create a fish token, create a 3/3 blue shark token instead. Then level 3 is a blue, a green, and 2 generic for if you would create a shark token, create a 8/8 blue octopus creature token instead. Man, a lot of great blue-green creature token cards. Let's go. Next one, Clement, the Worrywart. I got this one because I already have a copy of it, but I wanted the showcase copy because the showcases are pretty cool in the set. And for a blue, a green, and 1 generic, it's a 3/3 legendary creature frog druid. And it has vigilance, and when this card or another creature you control enters, return up to 1 target creature card with lesser amount of value to its owner's hand. So you get to put things back in your hand that cost less whenever you cast creatures. Frogs you control have tap, add blue or green mana, spend this only to cast creature spells. I might be thinking about building a creature deck that's a blue-green deck that puts my own cards back in my owner's hand for payoff. Will it work out? I don't think so. I think it's going to be too gimmicky, but it'll be fun to try. On to the last card of the pile. Next one is Rolling Hemisphere, which is a 7-cost artifact vehicle it's a 4/4. It has crew 3, so you have to have 3 power tapped creatures with power 3 in order to crew it. And then it gets +1 for each hamster you control. And whenever it attacks, create 3 1/1 red hamster creature tokens that then it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of hamsters you control. So right when you attack with it the first time, it's pretty much going to be a 7/7 that's going to deal 3 damage to something. Is it expensive? Yes, very. Does it have a cool payout that revolves around squirrels or hamsters or any other kinds of tokens? Yeah, it's hamsters, but you know what? I think it's going to go in my squirrel deck because it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic week, and remember to keep it rolling.
And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like the video and subscribe if you'd like to stay updated. Have a great day and keep them rolling.